I think we are ready.
It's fine, yeah?
I think we are ready.
Thank you, it's frame 9 now. Near Robertson to break.
So Neil Robertson leads Wu Yize 7-1. He was dominant this afternoon. There were chances, a lot of chances for Wu. He'd be disappointed, of course, with the errors. That's in the past. Maybe he can just relax a little bit now, play some of the snooker that's got him this far, because he's been terrific the whole tournament. Of course, he's beaten Bingham, Carter, Judd Trump as well, amongst others. Maybe the occasion just got to him a little earlier, but here we are. Let's see if he can start knocking them in from the off and just try and take it frame by frame, put a bit of pressure on maybe.
One.
That's a great start.
Indeed, the crowd will get behind him tonight, because they obviously would like to see more snooker. And it could have been a lot closer this afternoon's session. Could have been a 5-3 in favour of Neil Robertson. That wouldn't have been entirely unjust. He's got so much talent. But he did miss a number of easy balls, especially to middle pockets, strangely. But you see him play shots like this and you realise what a gifted player he is, 20 years of age. But it was all a little bit like he was in new territory, and he never really settled, quite honestly, this afternoon. He likes to go into the bunch hard, and that was one of the problems earlier. He was quite unlucky. He played a shot not dissimilar to that, and cue ball just hit a couple of balls on the way through and went in off into the top right, the green pocket. Unfortunately now, this blue is going to have to go in. Seems to me those mid-range shots with his hand on the table, he seems never to miss one. So when he's on the cushion like this shot,
15.
one or two other things that have gone wrong, awkward cueing, that's when he struggled. Certain parts of his game are particularly strong.
Well, I saw Sean Murphy on social media. He went to see the Back to the Future musical last night. I think Wu Yize would like to go back to 1 o'clock this afternoon and start the match like this.
Yeah, he's not on one particularly nicely here. Thinnish red to left corner. Like to have been a lot straighter on it, or he might have played on the one directly above the black.
$19. $24. 25.
Of course, these finals, it's one match, but it is split into sessions, and there's been 2 hours since the last one.
32.
I think had they stayed out there, it would have been 9-1, 9-2, but I guess if he doesn't miss all night, he could still turn it round.
33.
Well, we talk about a 3-1 lead in the mini session, but it really, even that won't be enough. He's got to win all of these first 4 frames, and then he has some sort of a chance then. Anything else, probably not. But he can't have started any better. He's
40.
knocked in a great long red. He's played 2 or 3 thunderous shots through the bunch. Just reminding everyone why he's here, I suppose.
41. 48. $49.
I mentioned it before this week, but his very long backswing and that cue come through quite delightfully through the ball, as if the cue ball isn't there, he's just playing right through it. So there's a lot of good things mechanically in the way he hits the ball. The rest of it just growing into being a leading professional, which I think he will end up being. It's a nice cue action. Long backswing.
55.
Once or twice, I think today maybe that long backswing meant that he didn't actually hit centre of the cue ball when he meant to. Put unwanted side on a couple of times earlier. Threw everything offline. Probably due to nerves.
Well, this is his first half century. His highest break this afternoon, 48. So now, just looking to kill this frame off. He's clearly decided, you can understand it, he's going to have a go. See what happens tonight.
Yeah, I think he'd like to play on the bottom red into the left corner, but the two reds on the side cushion are in the way of swinging it round. Yeah, that isn't the worst outcome, given that he didn't play that shot well.
60.
He didn't mean to go into that red. Still 75 points on, so he has to be careful. Needs another red, and it's the perfect evening start.
$66.
So this is frame ball.
67.
Well, if only snooker was that simple. Knock in a long red, make a frame-winning break. He really loved to have done that earlier. But what a great start and great resolve from Yize here. And just underlining what a terrific player he really is. I'm sure there'll be people here, they may have bought the tickets
74.
last year, you know, at last year's event. They want to see some sort of contest here.
$75.
Interesting shot selection, playing the yellow with the rest rather than the green. He must feel there's absolutely no way getting from green to red. Otherwise he wouldn't be playing this shot with the rest otherwise. He's taking the cue ball down the right side of the table. Just running a bit out of position. Whatever happens now in this break,
77.
doesn't matter. It'd be nice if he could get a century. But it is a terrific start, however it ends. It's not over yet, though.
78.
And that's well played. And here's the shot. If the red doesn't go anywhere, the one by the
85.
pink. Could pot this red down the cushion, flick into the pink, hoping to disturb the red and be on something, and then the century would be on if you could achieve that.
$86.
Well, maybe the red pots somewhere. It goes up into the top left, but maybe perhaps left middle as well. Got to be honest, he's missed a lot of balls into that left middle. Quite easy reds today.
93.
Hopefully this will not be another one.
94.
Well, how about this? A nightmare afternoon, but a dream start to the evening. This pink for a century for Wu Yize. Terrific. If he can just do that another 7 times, he could still win this final. He's still a long way back, but this has been a great effort from him.
Yeah, I mean, where he is dangerous is that when he does go into the reds, you know, it put the fear into anybody, I think, because he opens up everything. He got unlucky earlier with that in off, but the reds are not going to stay in the bunch. If he decides to split them, they're going to be all over the table, and that can be
114.
a very dangerous opponent.
120.
So first shot, long red, and he's not faltered. Wu Yize, with a scintillating century, wins the first frame of the night. Neil Robertson sees his lead cut to 7-2. All the others he lost, or he won rather, for the loss of just a frame. Tour Championship in April 2022 was Robertson's last success in a ranking tournament, and this is actually his first final since then, so it has been a difficult time. Of course, if you're not getting the results and you've done well on the 2-year system, points come off. That's why he dropped out the top 16. If he wins tonight, they'll be back in.
Can play the cue ball over in behind the yellow here with that red in front of it. It's not a problem. Can't get to leave the red on. Robertson will be aware of how well that break was made, and you know, not to leave him with his hand on the table, as I say, where he's absolutely lethal. Wu Yize. I know he's got to concentrate on his own game, but he's got to make sure that safety is tight that he plays when he plays it. It's very often difficult for a player in their first ranking final. I mean, we know he's talented, but there was no reason to think that he was going to be, you know, in this final necessarily, because he's not used to being here. It's his first one, so it often means that unless you're an absolutely incredible talent, you know, like a Stephen Hendry or Ronnie O'Sullivan, your first final it can be a little daunting, and that's what this afternoon session was like for him.
Yeah, we've seen it in recent times, haven't we, in the home nations. Joe O'Connor, Noppin Senkar, Martin O'Donnell. Funnily enough, they all lost to Gary Wilson. But Chris Wakeling last year against Judd Trump in Belfast.
Yeah, and people always say, well, you know, that's it, you've had the experience, your next final will be a different story, but there's no guarantees that some of the players that have made finals will ever be in another one. It's not as simple as that. And you could see from a very early stage that was going in. And obviously the red isn't up there as it was earlier in the frame, so that would have been easy with ball in hand, but it might be of little consequence, the 4 points, with no obvious red to play next. It's a nice safety shot, that was. An attempt to block the right side of the table, although he hasn't stopped the thin edges on that right side from being hit by Robertson here in safety. Well, it's not really helping either player when the blue gets taken away from his spot like that on a safety shot. Very good. Yeah, Robertson's plan would be to keep Yize down there in the long grass for the duration of the evening, I think. slow start to the frame. Been playing about 8.5 minutes and nothing potted. Just those 4 penalty points.
Yeah, just while we watch this exchange, congratulations to Dylan Emery, young Welsh player who's won the second Q Tour event of the season out of Bulgaria. That's a qualifying tour to get back on the pro circuit. Dylan, he's actually the #1 top-up from the Q School, so he does actually get to play in a lot of the ranking events, but he's not actually on tour. He dropped off, but taking a big step towards getting back on. Of course, Neil Robertson was relegated twice when he was very young, 16, his first term pro, got back on, was relegated then on his 20th birthday. Not a lot of fun, but came back on in 2003. Been there ever since, of course.
Following a miss. Yize 4. Back.
Going back, yeah, if you go back to that era, there was a few things that were different and not in the favour of players. Obviously, Neil Robertson, as an Australian, had to base himself in the UK in the early days. There was still, I'm pretty sure there were still entry fees then. You had to enter and pay money for tournaments. There was no concessions for the first £20,000 as there is now that you earn. It was quite a hard road to be on in the earlier days.
Yeah, and it wasn't a 2-year card either, was it? So, you could drop off after a year. They're just checking they've got the white in the right spot here. Marcel Eckhart, the referee.
Hostess. Yeah. Thanks.
And once again, a slight error. It's not terrible. I suppose he could have a go at a red, but he seems to have a more cautious approach, not taking on poor percentage shots. I don't really notice much else different about his game in the last year, 18 months, when, of course, he's been struggling. Looks like he's playing out of a snooker here, even though he can see a number of reds. It's a very difficult shot to be playing, actually. I mean, he's trying to hit the top side of that red and send the cue ball back into bulk and the red down towards the other reds. But, as I say, he had many reds that he could hit directly.
So the 8 points, of course, from fouls. So this now just under 14 minutes, nothing potted.
Yes, and Robertson's potted nothing tonight because clearly in that first frame he didn't either. So playing about 25 minutes tonight. And Neil Robertson has drawn a blank so far, albeit, you know, he started with a very long lead of 7-1, so no need for him to in any way panic.
No, his discipline has been excellent throughout the tournament. He said he's been sort of looking at Judd Trump, the way he's developed his safety game, trying to take inspiration from the other players who've been doing well of late.
Foul.
Well, there's another 4
Yize
points.
4.
Slightly unlucky there, I think, because you know he's trying to shake the cue ball around to hide it behind that blue ball. But still, nothing been potted.
I think if John Virgo was commentating, he might have lost his voice by now. That cue ball's been so close to various pockets.
Well, I suppose if there's going to be any sort of comeback, he's going to need good things to happen to him this evening. And of course here is something very good. No way in the world he knew a great deal about it. He wouldn't deny him it, though. He had a fairly torrid afternoon, all things considered.
Yize 1.
Yize couldn't have played that last shot any better to get tight in behind the bolt colour in the way that he has. It means that Neil Robertson, yes, he's on the way to hitting a red. He's not really going a very direct route. You know, he's got to go twice across. Can't even go the one cushion route into them. It's a good shot, though. Goodness, that is. Very good. Well, if he takes on this pink, he's quite difficult. A lot of the ingredients of shots he's missed are in it, playing from the cushion into that middle pocket, which has given him absolutely nightmares today. With easier pots than this, but you know, what do? You've got to try and put everything right. Not an easy shot at all, this.
Yize 1.
Never really threatened either. So Robertson quickly out of his chair. At last, something has come his way. Best part of half an hour of playing time tonight. He hasn't potted a single ball, the Australian.
Well, black completely out of commission, and we'll try and get the bigger colours back into play here.
1.
There's the total playing time, 3.5 hours. We had a couple of long frames this afternoon, some quick ones as well. You get all sorts, of course, in these finals. This already feels like quite a big shot on this green. Trying to get going again after the break between sessions. And it's not there.
Robertson 1.
Yeah, I mean, it's the kind of shot that if you're in any kind of stroke, you would fancy getting. I think the green seems to have come round and covered everything up. It looks to be at least 2 reds available, but the green goes into them, and you saw Neil pat the table slightly sheepishly. He realised he's got away with one there. This is good. Didn't know what to do. He's pushed the red potable, but unless he can hold it, cue ball is drifting down the table. Might just be able to play it gently and hold for the pink to the top right pocket.
1. Seven. Eight.
Overdid it slightly. He didn't have a huge margin for error because he's coming back across a line of which the pink is on. You're not coming in behind it, you're going across it, so you have to hit it perfectly, pace-wise.
Yize 8.
Yeah, slight bow of the head, not his best safety.
One. Four.
Yeah, I think the red through the middle is the one up the table. Playing it into the middle, not the end.
Five. Neil Robertson, 5.
There was no reaction to not landing on one of the 4 colours in that area, just played the snooker.
I think the target red likely to be the red just to the right of the black, right down the table here, twice across. Trying to do little damage by laying up to that one. Cue ball's got to go a long way to reach it though. It's not online, I'm afraid. And he's left the other
Follow the
red.
miss, Neil Robertson, 4.
It was not an easy shot, but he was quite a long way off.
Of course.
Okay, well, it's going back. I don't think he's going to get an easier chance than that. Even if Yize misses again, he'd never be on that red any better. So it looks like Neil Robertson just trying to collect some points. In the end, Yize, if he keeps going this way, will hit it, I suppose.
Following the miss, Neil
You're
Robertson,
joking.
4.
You're joking. How has that missed? I mean, he's done everything but hit it. It could only have been a fraction of a millimetre short, I think. I expected him to say nothing, the referee. I assumed he'd just hit it.
Following the miss, Neil Robertson, 4.
Once again, he's got this shot at the red. It's not a lot different to the one he refused.
One.
Very powerfully played there and accurately. Choice of a number of colours here. I mean, he keeps looking down at the pink, which would be quite an adventurous shot. So he's going to try and force the green in. It's a missable one, this. Played with pace. Very nicely struck.
4. Five.
Yeah, so half an hour frame, but Neil Robertson is in no rush. His
11.
focus has been excellent the whole tournament. We've seen it again here, that determination. And, of course, it's been present off-table as well, the work he's done. We saw Joe Perry at the start. He's been a help. In the span of his career, 2 years without a title is not actually that long. But, of course, it's been difficult, certainly last year when he missed out on various events, including, of course, playing at the Crucible.
12.
It's one thing to have to qualify for the Crucible, but then in qualification not make it would be quite painful. He explained in the interview that, you know, it was bad, but you just get through it. I think worse things can happen, of course, considerably worse. But it is still a bit of a shock after all those years to miss out.
But if he does win tonight, he'll be in the Champion of Champions, Players
18.
Series, certainly the first couple of those events, top 16 if he can bed himself in there
19.
again, the Masters, all of that will follow. And that is all in the background if he can win this frame and one more.
Twenty-five. 26.
Son Alexander in the middle there. He's been here for a few days, hoping to be part of the celebrations later. Robertson needs 2 reds here, just checking the scores, 28 in front.
32.
It's been a hard-earned frame if he wins it. A lot of safety, a lot of patience needed.
33.
He makes a lot of big breaks. He had a couple of back-to-back hundreds earlier. But this has been a different frame, albeit one equally as important. Yize made a great start, but he's been stopped in his tracks this frame. Easier shot for a left-hander than otherwise. Just absolutely making sure of the red, and now, as you say, he's at the point where Yize needs a snooker. Could drop in behind the black, I suppose, to keep things even tighter.
This is where those foul points have come in handy. You know, the 3 times that Yize missed when he was trying to just play it up to the red by the black have made a difference.
Blue ball. Near Robertson. 40.
Well, he tried to keep things tight and maybe get the snooker, but he hasn't achieved it. It's only one snooker. It's not done yet. Well, it might be now.
Foul near Robertson. 5. And a free ball.
Yeah, too much going on now. Difference of 41.
Free ball.
Free ball has been awarded by referee Marcel Eckhart. Can't roll behind. Can't take the blue as a free ball and then roll behind it. That's one thing that would be a foul.
Blue ball.
But he can use the blue and then snooker behind green and brown, which he might do now after he's potted the blue as a red. Either way,
1.
the frame is looking more and more like it's going to be his.
Yes, the break was only 40, but it was arguably the most valuable that he's made all day.
Yeah, I mean, look, he could lead the snooker, but it looks like he's trying to leave it absolute fiendish snooker, even though he's so far in front. Putting the green safe, so he's...
Near Robertson. 1.
He's taking no chances here, is he? The old sand and cement treatment he's given it.
Yeah, he needs two himself, Yize. Oh, nice kiss, nice kiss.
I mean, it may not look too bad a table for getting snookers, but it's not really. Well, I don't know how you get these here. Even if he does, it's the black and the red. The 8 points he needs there are not easy either, so... Got a snooker or two, it's going to be very difficult to claw back these points, though. From the snooker nearly. It's one of these frames you just want to win, and it's not really any fireworks in it. Easy swerve. Robertson would not mind leaving the red for Yize at a pot, because clearly Yize wants it on the table so you get a possible free ball. Neil Robertson can roll this red over one of the pockets and invite him to pot it. Just like that, really. If Yize pots this red, Robertson is an even stronger favourite to win the frame, with just the colours left.
One.
Well,
Yize,
that's it
one
now.
from
He
conceded
concedes. So
frame.
40-minute frame. It was an excellent 40 break from Neil Robertson. Just holding off any potential recovery. He's one away, leading 8-2. 1995, and he has been there ever since. 10,738 days, has not dropped out. If Neil Robertson wins tonight, he will do. He's been there under 9 prime ministers. It's been an incredible achievement. Of course, he can get back in. There's another ranking event starting tomorrow, but Robertson will end that extraordinary spell of nearly 3 decades if he does win one more frame. It was so long ago, you know, that John got in the top 16. It was the day after Oasis got to #1 for the first time, which some might say. But it seems, in terms of Robertson winning this, it's more definitely than maybe.
And that's kind of a rare mistake that Robertson has made, and a gift, really, this. Not the kind of mistake he would make all that often.
One.
Unforced error. There, if he can just land the cue ball on a red, preferably one of the couple of reds close to the black, it could get him started again. Yeah, that's good. He's not queuing over the top of the ball. He's got easy access to this red.
Seven.
So if he's going to play one of these swashbuckling attempts to open the reds at any point soon, don't think he'll do it here. But when he hits them, goodness, they stay hit.
14.
This could be it. Well, again, options if he doesn't want to go into them, but the angle he's got makes me think it's not impossible he will. Playing a delicate one. In fact, that's a beautiful shot. Better option than the opening of the bunch.
22. $23.
For once, the Reds stick together somewhat. I don't know if he's got
30.
a thin cut to one to the left corner, but not a great deal move this time. Maybe a red to middle, in fact. That must be tight. That's a real shame. That's a real shame. He just
Yize,
came slightly awkwardly.
30.
There was some promise in that chance, but this red is a tricky little shot to be playing. Robertson now looking for difficult places on the table at the bulk end so he can land the cue ball there. Seems to have picked an area that he will try and put Yize in. I'm not sure he feels he can play an easy safety shot. He might be having a dart at this. It's very difficult.
One.
Oh, what an absolutely crunching pot that was.
Green ball.
The noise it made. Smack in the middle of the pocket. That's two good shots in a row. It's good to have that in your armoury, isn't it? You know, he couldn't see a safety shot, so what he decided to do was absolutely smash a long red in and then play a lovely controlled snooker. Two very different shots in a row. Of course, the problem is you want to try and target a red that's close to the cushion to just roll up to. And the one that's by the green is the only one that fits that bill, but I don't think he can get to it. So I don't know what the plan is, but coming at an angle, it's hard to think he'd be sure not to leave one on here. Well, he's got to hit it hard enough. That's never reaching.
Yize 4.
Took a long time over, it wasn't worth the wait.
One.
So Yize has already got a useful lead in this frame
8.
as he looks to extend this final. Still all a learning experience, of course. He's still only 20. It's his birthday next month. Joined the tour just 3 years ago. He'll be in the top 32 no matter what after tonight. Quite significant actually, because for example the Belfast event he wouldn't have to qualify for, he'd be playing at the venue.
$14. $15.
He doesn't roll balls in very much. In fact, sometimes when he does try to roll them, he misses them. But that punch that he adopts on these shots, the balls absolutely smack into the pockets when he hits them well. That's not bad. That's a nice little cannon. Might go left-handed on this. No, deciding to use the rest. It's not been a spectacular frame, but it's been a really well-played frame. The long ready absolutely drilled in is the reason he's got this chance next visit to the table.
$30.
I mean, this is a thunderous pot, isn't it? Look at that. Didn't have anything else as a safety shot, nothing.
So needs red in the colour. There is a red save as well for a bit of insurance.
31.
So there's still the potential to take this to the interval. If he wins the next frame, he will do.
38.
He is the 14th Chinese player to appear in a ranking final. 6 have been successful.
45. $46.
I mean, whatever happens, whether it goes to a mid-session interval or what, he's played a whole lot better tonight. You know, he's played
52.
some really nice controlled snooker. Something that he just couldn't really get his head around earlier. He's a very aggressive player, but it's controlled aggression tonight. And the ball's all going into the middle of the pocket.
59. $60.
They might play the cannon here, but he's got to watch out he doesn't hit the knuckle of the middle pocket and not hit the red at all. Well, he's played it well. Got some sort of a shot at the red.
57. $68.
Well, if he can take the blue, then there's just enough on for a century. Of course, he started the night with that 127 total clearance.
$73. $75. $78. $82.
Blue, pink and black for his 5th century of the tournament.
87.
It's been an
93.
absolutely superb break, this.
Yeah, wonderful stuff. Yize are not lying down. His 2nd century of the evening. Seriously impressive. A clearance of 100 exactly. He now trails here 8-3. Hailed from these parts. Yize, he's not letting Neil Robertson get his hands on it yet. He's just made his 2nd century of the night. 8-3. If he can win this frame, we do go to an interval.
Definite miscue, which looked suspiciously like some sort of a containing shot. That's why he put his hand up, because he had no idea where the cue ball was going to go, how it was going to throw off the tip. But he's not gone too badly. Not a good shot. You're not unlucky to get the double kiss on those. If you think the double kiss is going to happen, it almost always will. It's one of the first real mistakes he's made tonight. It's always going to be tough to screw that in and finish this side of the baulk line. The angle was quite wide on the red. And what's he doing here? It looks like he's trying to cut this in. This is a big shot to play. Going in towards the reds. Very aggressive shot selection, this. And he deserves good things to happen for that, playing a shot as adventurous as that one. He's got that key ball moving around delightfully.
Yeah, he's clearly enjoying himself now, isn't he? He wasn't this afternoon.
13.
This time I expect him to really try and shift some reds. He might be playing through a smallish gap. Well, only just taking one out, that's even more control than we saw this afternoon when he once or twice sort of smashed the reds open. So there's a little bit more subtlety to how he's performing tonight. When he needs to play the big shots, he will.
.22.
And this time he just gets a nice break. I think he deserved to be on that pink.
Well, great chance here to win another frame with a big break. His father's been, of course, very loyally watching on.
28.
It's already been quite a long journey from the junior days.
29.
Under 21 champion when he was just 14. There he is. Very proud of what he's watching.
Yes, I mean, for anyone that only saw this afternoon and think, well, how did he get to the final? Because he did not play well at all.
36.
You're seeing why he's here today in this session, playing great stuff.
.37. .44. .45.
That's a nice little touch as well, I think. He's on the bottom
52.
red.
.53.
He's like a completely different player tonight, isn't he? He's played so well.
.60. .61.
Yeah, whatever else happens tonight, and it's not over yet, he's going to be a major, major threat. Not just this season, but in years to come. Still only 20.
Yeah, I mean, he's got all the tools, hasn't he, really? You know, the cue action is big, expansive backswing. There's a lot going on, but it's all good.
67.
He's very accurate, even when he's using pace. He's got a bit of a bounce around the table, hasn't he, tonight? He's feeling good about things, and so he should.
Yeah, this is frame ball, and we're going to the interval, and it could be that he'll make his third century of the night.
74. 75.
Yeah, he played the cannon, and now he's faced with an
82.
awkward one. A little rueful smile. The red to middle to keep the break going. Far from easy, this.
Well, the break ends at 82, but what a wonderful contribution it was once again. Yize has made 2 centuries tonight. A lot of people, I think, felt it would be over quickly. It's still going. We are going to the interval, and Neil Robertson still needs to win 1 frame to get his hands on the Steve Davis Trophy. He leads the English Open final at the last interval by 8 frames to 4. Neil Robertson certainly won't be panicking with his vast experience, but he won't want to give Yize many more chances because he's been taking them this evening. He's been very, very impressive after a disappointing, nervy afternoon for him. For those of you joining us, this is the final of the English Open. Neil Robertson 8, Yize 4. Wu has been impressive this evening. He's won 3 of the first 4, so Neil Robertson still needs 1 more for victory. And the £100,000 first prize, back in the top 16 and all the spin-offs that come with it, but still needing 1 more frame.
Well, that's caused a problem now because of all the reds in open play, and there are an awful lot of them. A little sort of nod of the head there from Yize, I think, in acceptance that he's up against a difficult table here, because Robertson's last shot has threatened him. And he hasn't even really got the option to sort of drill a long ball in, because everything's going to be tricky from underneath that cushion. Is there an area in baulk where he can keep things safe? Just got to watch where this red goes. I think he's going to leave the cue ball in that corner and take the red round the angles. He's got to make sure the red doesn't go anywhere that's unkind to him. That's not a bad shot. Thought that one through and weathered the storm. he's got an easy safety shot here off the right-hand red in bulk, but he's looking at winding himself up to take on one of those long reds. Even looking at them is something, because really almost everyone on the tour would just be playing safe off this red that he's now doing. Well, whatever happens from here, that little exchange was won by Yize, because he has a red on here, which is not an easy starter.
One.
Beautifully controlled shot, that. Well, he's earned this chance. How much, well, how many he makes from it, of course, different matter, but he's manoeuvred himself into a position to get in amongst them first in the frame.
Well, as he takes a couple of reds and blacks, it's worth remembering in the pre-TV phase, if you like, the
17.
first couple of qualifying rounds, Fang Zhengyi did make a maximum, which is still worth 5,000 to him.
$24. 25.
Well, there was that burst before the mid-session interval, which took us to the break, which we didn't think we were going to get. So far, he's come out in the same sort of vein.
$28.
Carrying on where he left off. This is a tough shot, though. Not only the pop, but the fact that he was moving reds, shifting reds below it.
$35. $37. 38.
Well, this is really good stuff. I mean,
43.
it's a different ball game tonight for Yize to earlier. He's just checking to see if the black goes to the left corner past the red. On the basis of that shot, it must do.
44.
Yeah, it certainly will pass. He's holding for that red, and now the black spot's clear. Frame's not won yet, but I tell you, he's not far away from achieving
51.
that.
52.
He might just nudge the three reds. If he could nudge the left side of them, he'd be on the one that's out in the open play over there, to the left middle. That's the shot that he's played. Beautifully done. That's very well executed, cleverly played.
Yes, it's no longer about the occasion, is it? He's just playing snooker. Now, whether that will last if he starts to get really close to Robertson, we'll see. But this is just terrific stuff from Yize.
$65.
This is the ball that should make it 8-5.
66.
The concern for Robertson has got to be that Yize is winning them in one visit. He's needing one chance to put them away.
$73.
That red stays out, but it's another terrific break, 73.
I think Neil's carrying on. You've just got to try and sort of, I don't know, take the steam out of the situation somehow.
1.
I don't know if he's got any real hopes of winning the frame. I don't think he has. He just wants to be at the table.
Yeah, the 3 frames that he lost before the interval, he didn't pot a ball in any of them. And it would have been the same here had he not decided to come and pot a few.
$9.
Yeah, I mean, whatever happens tonight, and we're assuming very much it's going to go 8-5. You know, Yize has got the balance right. He's an attacking player. But the controlled aggression he's showing and the odd subtle little shot here or there, he's got it all sorted out. He's almost like he's learning on his feet in this final. He's only a young man. He's going to get better all the time.
17. $23.
So 50 in it. Oh, well, there you are. He's not even trying for the snookers. He's trying to just get some table time. Fair enough. Perfectly entitled to do that, even though he's not really trying to get the frame won.
$31.
The thing is, he knows that unlikely comebacks can happen because he made one himself, of course. So he made a couple. He made one against Chow Yupeng in the Scottish Open 2017. He made one against John Higgins from 9-4 down to win 10-9. That was when he won that Tour Championship, his last ranking title. He's having to wait a bit longer for his next one because Yize is now playing some of his best snooker of the tournament to keep himself in this tournament. Robertson's lead is cut to 8-5.
14th frame.
Neil Robertson still one
Yize
away.
point.
I think the other thing to say is, of course, this is why players strive for such big leads when they can. Neil Robertson, this afternoon, he was winning all those frames. He knew he had to win, keep winning them. You know, there was no thing, well, I'll be 5-3 or 6-2, they'll be okay, because you never know what sort of comebacks you're going to be up against. Now, that's an error, and he's been very lucky. So is the tide turning now? The run going? It was the first mistake he's made for a long time, and he got away with it, luckily.
One.
Oh. Wow. Oh my goodness. What a shot. What a shot. Long straight ball like that. Thudded into the back of the pocket.
Time up.
Wow. He's played two absolutely stunning shots in a row here. I mean, look at the way he's opened these reds, the speed he got on the ball. That was sensational.
Well, I don't care how cool a character Neil Robertson is, he must be concerned watching this. In a couple of shots where Yize has given himself every chance to pull another one back.
And that's a good shot as well, because the blue's away from its spot. It's not a natural shot to play on the blue in open space like that when it's away from its usual position. It's A1. Yeah, he may have had a chat with his father or something and been very frustrated this afternoon. It's all coming out in a positive way tonight, though, isn't it? I mean, no one's saying he's going to go on and win this, but it's great to see the journey he's on.
11.
Yeah, and even if he loses now, and he hasn't yet, but one of the things people will remember from this final is this, how he's playing here.
12.
It would have been so easy for the shoulders to slump and you're almost 7-1 down to just going through the motions, but he found something very special here.
Seventeen.
Well, interesting shot to play, because you've played on the red below the pink, which just weaves its way through that gap and opens up the pink in the process.
Eighteen.
he had a few difficulties in that pocket earlier. I have to say that the afternoon session he missed 3 or 4 easy balls, but mercifully that hasn't
24.
been the case tonight. But he's able to hit through the ball, you know, and thump balls into pockets. I can't think of too many players in the world game that do it better. It's a little delicate one sometimes that he has to rein himself in on.
Well, he, of course, came and tried to sort of clear the table at the end of the last frame, Robertson, just to get a few shots, but he's back in that seat again. The first red was sort of fired in his general direction, wasn't it, into the yellow pocket?
Yeah, no, he's just taking a little bit of time over this because he hasn't really met with a real problem, but he's got to decide which red is the most effective to play. He's gone away from his first thought.
32.
Because he couldn't see position, so he's doing all the right things. He's not just rushing into every shot. He's past that stage. He's banging the match.
$38. $39.
Yeah, I mean, the opening red that Dave was speaking about, what a shot. And then the brown to follow it, where the cue ball gathered so much pace and just went into the reds and demolished them, really.
$45.
Not really been able to clear the black spot. Those 2 reds, they're not completely tying the black up, but they're just making things very awkward for him to land on the black, which would be the last piece of the jigsaw in a way. Done all the rest of it.
$46.
Well, that's one way to do it, and it was very measured. If there's anything that's not so good about that shot, the ready cannon is just pushed into the 6 now, and they're awkward. He's got
53.
to elevate the cue. I think he's got to play surely the red to left corner here, over the top of a load of reds, unless something goes to the middle. Oh, this goes to the middle. This is a delicate one again. And now, very close to getting another frame one, but one more positional shot is required. Showing great poise here. He's not rushed into any of it. He knows how well he's playing. He's desperate to keep the break alive. Now, if that red goes past the black, he doesn't got to do quite as much positionally. Must be tight. Be good to see down that line, but it makes a huge difference if it does go. Yeah, that will go all right. If he's behind it, that flies. Not quite facing the pocket right behind him, which would be easier, but this will certainly go if he hits it right.
60.
So one more red needed after this, and it's going to be 8-6.
Well, he's played on either the bottom red or there's a red in the middle of the bunch which might go. It's all very intricate. This break's been taking a lot of hard work. It's not so much if the red goes this time, it's can he see enough of it from the other red? Trace of side maybe.
66.
Well, his very first shot of the night, he potted a long red, and we said, that's what you got to do tonight, don't miss. And apart from the frame that he lost, he kind of hasn't. He's just completely flicked a switch here.
This has been the most fantastic break. I mean, whatever happens from here, he's already, snooker's acquired. It's been absolutely stunning. The way that he's made it, the way that he's kept it going, the reds were open, but sometimes awkward.
72.
I mean, this, he just drilled that in, and you can't see a frame played better by anybody in the world than this. It's been spellbinding stuff.
Yeah, put together with the other frames he's won, this is as good as we've seen in the tournament, this spell. And now that it's 8-6, and how he's winning the frames, the comeback is well and truly on.
80.
Of course, the question then is, the closer he gets to completing it, can he play with such freedom like this? We'll see, but the main thing is he's put himself in that position.
Well, absolutely. I mean, for Neil Robertson, it's got beyond a joke. His father,
86.
Yize's father there, is on the edge of his seat. He must be a very proud man, whatever
87.
happens in this final. But this is, it's kind of turned everything around because he had a bad afternoon session. And he's been magnificent tonight.
Sunday night
94.
on UK television is so often about great drama. And we're seeing another one here, and Yize is playing now the starring role. This black for his third century of the night. Oh, what a shame. What a shame that he's missed the black, but what a break. And what a performance overall. Yize refusing to go away. He's won 4 on the spin, and Neil Robertson's lead is now only 8-6. Highest break tonight, Robertson. He's only 40. He did a lot of damage, of course, this afternoon. He finished with 2 centuries, but 40, his best effort. His opponent has had a string of breaks. It could have been a 3rd century there, but the 95 has brought it back to 8-6. And he's actually, in the match now, scored more points. Yize.
Yes, I think what he's got to do now, if he can, keep potting balls like he is, but he's just got to keep the pressure on Neil Robertson, not do anything silly, because surely he's feeling it. You know, he's not won for a while, and he didn't expect this bombardment tonight, I don't think.
No, because it's just night and day from the performance this afternoon. He's gone from a sort of 2 out of 10 to a 10 out of 10 with Yize.
think Neil Robertson is at the point where he's desperately trying to take the sting out of things, you know, and just not get him out of his stride. But nothing's working like that. It just comes down to the point. If Neil does get a chance, he's just got to take it, I think, and pot the balls before Yize can pot them. He just isn't really getting any table time at all. He's sitting in that chair watching all this go on. I mean, all of the frames tonight that he's lost, Neil Robertson, he has played no part in. One of the frames he scored 33 points, but that was just after the frame was over and he was having a few shots. All the others, he's been just sitting in the chair, not putting a ball in any of them. It's quite a good shot, but he has left this long red, and you know what that could mean. But from underneath that cushion, this would be a really difficult shot. Difficult pot with very little guarantees on getting onto a colour. Might be able to play the containing shot, but there's a red down there near the black spot as well, so it's not an easy decision, this. Well, it could be worse. If you miss it by that far, you don't leave the red on. Yeah, well, he's covered the right side of the table. There may be just an edge or two he can see, but it's not very promising. You can see what Neil's doing. He's just trying to slow it down a bit, take the edge off of his opponent, who's been all over him, quite honestly, and hope that something comes his way he can take. Well, if he hasn't got a safety shot, I suppose it's like anything else, you may as well try and pop one, but there's nothing easy here. goodness me. What is going on? It's one of the very few mistakes he's made. The red's gone in like a bullet into that top right. And I suppose if he's going to launch one of the great comebacks, you need this to happen as well, on top of all the good.
Wow. What a thing to happen. Robertson must have been about to get out of his chair thinking this could be my opportunity. Not bound to get out of his chair again in the frame now.
Yeah, I mean, there's 8-2 up, you know. We've known that turned around, but can you think of very, very odd instances? The stars have all got to align, haven't they? And the run of the ball's got to change. The standard's got to improve. All sorts has got to happen.
5.
He kind of just gave a very cursory wave. He didn't really seem all that sorry about it, did he? I can't blame him.
Well, here we're here again, aren't we? I mean, it looked like a final that was petering out. It would have been a great story if Robertson had won easily, the coronation, all of that. It's turning into one of the most memorable that we've seen in recent times. Of course, the last final went down to the last black. Judd Trump with a great clearance against Mark Williams, but that had been a real nip and tuck affair. It's always a bit different when there's a comeback in terms of just the feeling in the room.
19.
The thing is, I mean, Neil Robertson had him in all kinds of trouble from that last shot, and he looked for a long time, and he went for one. I don't blame him going for one, because he couldn't see a shot. Neil had him tied up in knots there, until the red ended up going into the top right pocket from an outlandish fluke. They say fortune favours the brave, don't they?
24.
Don't think he's got much of an angle here. You have to use a bit of force on this one. Well, he's playing a different red. This is tough.
25.
The full range of shots are coming out tonight from Yize.
Thirty. 31.
We just caught a glimpse that pink does parts those two reds to the left middle. Again, it's a very delicate little shot to hold for a red. Well, it wasn't played delicately at all, and I think when he can put his cue right through the ball in the way he did on that shot, he looks a very formidable player. It's a little delicate one he doesn't hit so well, but at that kind of extra pace, he incredibly accurate.
37.
Again, bit of work to do here. they can play on the pink will go. Goodness me.
$44. 45.
I think back to this afternoon, some of the balls he was missing, particularly to middle pockets, as Neil mentioned earlier, you know, you just thought, he's not coping at all. And he wasn't then, but whatever he did between sessions, it's worked. I'm sure his dad had a word. Go out and enjoy it. He's
50.
certainly enjoying it now. There he is.
I mean, the pair of them, Yize and his father, must have been very disappointed with how he played when you know he can play like this. And then he misses that one again. There's something about that left middle, those little delicate shots. He puts all the difficult ones and misses the very odd easy one. It's amazing, isn't it, after all those pots, that this stays up.
Well, it's the first ball in live play he's missed in a long time. And he hasn't won the frame from a fluke, but he's got a 50-point lead.
Yeah, Neil is always pretty cool and pretty sort of pragmatic about things, but he must be getting a bit frustrated, mustn't he? He's getting... If ever there is a mistake made, he's still not getting a pot. He got lucky there as well. That was not as planned. He hit both reds. Although he has left something.
Well, how's Neil Robertson feeling as he comes to the table here? We're about to find out.
Interesting if he can control the cue ball here. It's edging over close to those two reds by the black spot. Just a little bit thinner than that.
One.
No good. He's going on to these sort of shots cold, isn't he? Very cold. Nothing that he's seen for so long. He can't have any real flow to his game.
Now Robertson, 1.
So 5 hours playing time And what a fascinating stage this is. It was 8-2 to Robertson, it's 8-6. Yize got the fluke, he made 50, missed a red. But where the balls are, if he leaves Robertson a chance, the clearance would be available.
Well, he's looking at the plant. I think if the cue ball was directly in line with the two reds, it would be easier. The cue ball's a bit low, which means it's not so easy as all that to judge. He ended up hitting it very quickly. He's undeniably rattled, but I don't think anyone in his position wouldn't be.
Yes, and now red's run safe to that left side cushion, which doesn't favour him, of course, trailing in the frame.
I mean, even that shot, the red flicked the yellow and now isn't potable anywhere. You're kind of thinking that the red hot spell of Yize might be just coming to an end, but ultimately still 49 in front in this frame, so he's holding all the aces again. Well, that's also pretty good for Yize. He might have intended that, just to get the pink a little more towards the cushion. Again, it's not a very nice looking table for a player 49 points behind. Balls are not in perfect spots. I don't know how he's feeling. He looks okay outwardly. He's doing a lot of thinking, but he's not potting hardly any balls, and that's the biggest problem.
I mean, in general, he's a very positive character, very optimistic character, but that's being seriously tested right now, the onslaught that he's having to withstand this evening. It looked for all the world like 8-7 as well, didn't it, until Yize missed that red to the middle. But he's not leaving him any chances.
No, I mean, he's played everybody multiple times. He's played all of the greats. He's won himself. But I can't imagine too many players have thrown this much at him over the years. And I mean anybody.
Well, we've seen Yize knock all sorts in tonight, and there's another long red available.
Yeah, he doesn't have to play it because he's in front.
couldn't help himself. And when he can pot like that, you can't blame him.
Well, this is it, and there's another absolutely magnificent ball that he potted there.
Six.
So, second chance. Of course, first started with the fluke. There was nothing lucky about that. Robertson didn't play the best safety, but even so, it was a terrific pot to set up the chance for 8-7.
7.
Well, if you're in the Neil Robertson camp with his family or Joe Perry, his coach, you're worried. You've got to be worried, because it's got beyond a joke for him now. You know, you expect a bit of a backlash, a player 8-2 down, throwing his arm at a few, but it hasn't really been like that. It's been absolutely pure brilliance. And it seems to be the onslaught is not ending here.
12.
Yeah, I mean, either way now for Neil Robertson, it's going to be memorable. It's either going to be his first ranking title for 2.5 years, or he's going to be on the wrong end of one of the best comebacks we've ever seen in a major final. And right now, you wouldn't want to say which one is going to happen.
19. Any frame.
The comeback continues. It's 5 on the spin from Yize. This is now anyone's. 8-7. Wuxi Classic against Ding Junhui, but in a ranking event, to win from 6 down with 7 to play would be unprecedented in a final. But Yize, if he can win the next 2 frames, will have done exactly that. But as I say, now what's interesting, now that he's got a chance to win this tournament, is can he play with that same freedom? Well, we're going to find out. Neil Robertson determined to get in and stop him from having the chance to do that.
Well, that might not matter. Your eyes were quickly shifting across to see the red where it's gone. So it'll only be the value of that 4 points. He's not left anything. I mean, look, if you're a snooker aficionado, a neutral, so many are, you know, you just love to see this go 8-all and see what happens thereafter, how it'll all unfold. But of course, if you're involved in the Neil Robertson camp, you absolutely do not want to see that. That's the last thing you want in your mind. Gone all this time without winning, and he gets hit by all this. But 8-all would be quite something if it happened. He's sizing up this red. Screwing off the cushion. Oh my goodness. It's another incredible pot. Look at how cleanly it went in. It's frightening, isn't it? It really is. Not nicely on the black. Not to get onto a red after it anyway. I mean, You can't really say he's unlucky not to be cleanly on a red, because what is he thinking? He's thinking that he never misses, and when he does, the ball's still going somewhere.
Oh, wow. It was a bit of a blur, wasn't it, as that black flew back across the cushion. Here it is again.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's easy for someone like me that doesn't play anymore to say that's one shot too many, because in hindsight it does look like that. But when they go in, we're not saying it. The only thing I would say is he's looking at a plant now, and that is enough to give Neil Robertson plenty to think about if that goes in as well. I don't think he can get to the plant, but he certainly looked at it. Doesn't want to leave it, perhaps. He's actually playing safe. And that's what he has to do very occasionally.
Yize.
And look how well he's done it. Neil, again, could have been on an easier red than the one he's left with. But he's not showing any real emotion. He's not waving his arms around, or all of the things that come as human nature to most people who play this game. You know, the run has turned horribly against him, as well as everything else that's gone on.
One.
Well, he played it without any confidence. I know it went in, but look, he didn't at any point think about getting on the black. He just didn't want to leave a red. So it looked nice, but it was not really hurting his opponent.
Near Robertson, 1.
I just can't imagine that Neil Robertson will want to take any risks here. I think he was always going to do this, just drop up to the reds. I think he'd be petrified to leave anything on for Yize.
If you come around from here, you can see it.
Well, he's not giving it a touching ball, and he's not going to change his mind,
It's not
Marcel.
touching. It's not touching. It's not touching.
possible re-rack if the ball stay in this position. There's so much to risk by playing too expansive a shot. Needs to be careful he doesn't leave the red to middle here. Well, as he covered it, he looked straight across at the line. It's mighty close as to whether this ball is available. Bit of tension in Neil Robertson's arm, but I think he's just got it far enough. And now Yize has got to be equally as careful because the balls are in good positions for the next player to get in. At least he's having a good look at this because this is maybe the biggest shot we've seen so far. I think he's looking at pulling that red to middle past the one close to the pocket, but screwing across and not leaving anything. But even then, it looks incredibly difficult. This is a really difficult shot. It's not bad. I mean, there's something that might go, but he's not done too badly there. He's still in this.
Well, one thing's for sure, there's an absolute pile-on for someone here. The first player to get in. It will be a frame-winning opportunity where the Reds are, but who's it going to be? It's been an evening of big breaks from this man. This is a tense passage of play, though. Very important one as well.
That's a good shot, isn't it? Look, he's blocked off all the Reds over on the right side. And Neil he's hardly getting anything to go at, and this has got beyond a joke. You know, he's barely had a pot in live play for, I don't know, about an hour and a half of this evening's session. I suppose what Neil will take some consolation. This is a very different sort of a frame now. High value colours up there, tied up. maybe the kind of frame he needs to just scrape over the line, not open, because the open frames, Yize has been absolutely devouring, to be honest. Very intelligent shot. I think he tried to get blue and pink back in play there.
One.
Wow. Well, his luck has changed. He's overcut the red to middle. Cannon into that one and it's gone in. What a moment for that to happen. I got one, he said. Let's be honest, his opponent's had a few. But always with flukes, it's about what can you do from them.
Yeah, I mean, they do say that luck evens itself out, which, of course, some people would argue that's not the case, but I think it did there, because he was all out to pot a ball, wasn't he? Any ball, in any pocket.
Well, it's an unconventional table, to say the least, but can Neil Robertson here use his many years of experience to start building a nice lead?
Yeah, he'd be eyeing up where that blue is. It could be that he can get onto the blue and he'd love it back on his own spot. And the red that's close to the green spot, he might be able to pot and just land on the blue into the top left, and then all of a sudden get this shell on the road, or whichever red he plays, the blue might come into his thought process.
8.
I mean, it could end up a really good chance, this. She's got the colours are a little bit awkwardly placed.
One thing I've felt the whole tournament is that his thinking has been excellent, his discipline has been excellent, so that's the frame of mind he needs to stay in for the next however many minutes it needs to get over the line if he can.
Yes, I mean, look, he was on the wrong end of some wonderful potting and some pretty cruel luck, but I can think a lot of players who might have just combusted under those circumstances. But he didn't show any reaction.
$11.
When he got his fluke, he just calmly said, "I've got one." And he kind of knew what he meant.
Yes, I mean, over the years he's demonstrated considerable strength, hasn't he? Strength of character, just to come from Australia, to leave your family behind as a young man and chase your dream with no money in your pocket. Says a lot about him. I think if he wins now, I mean, I thought this at the start of the night at 7-1, but even more so now, if he wins, this has got to be very near the top of the list of all-time wins for him. You never beat the World Championship, but in terms of what he's gone through in the last 2 years and what he's gone through this evening, if he gets there.
18.
Yes, well, now he's got that blue free, so this becomes an even better chance. Been upgraded. There's a proper chance now.
In a funny way, this is what he's been missing, isn't it? When he's been sitting out big tournaments, the drama,
23.
the thrills and spills of top-level snooker.
24.
The only thing I would say is he's taking quite low-value colours, so he's never going to quite breeze away from Yize in this frame by doing so. So it might take him a lot more pots to put the match to bed.
$26. 27. 32.
Green is safe as well, so as he's building a lead that is to his advantage.
33.
Yeah, a few options here because he has got the red up the table on the right side, but if he's straight enough on this blue, he might think he can split the two reds below the cue ball now and pop one of them, and of course the other one then is out in open play also. So he's interested in doing that, getting on that right hand red of the two from somewhere where he's queuing. Holding the spot, that means blue on the black spot, which he won't mind any of this right now. You know, the points are mounting
38.
up.
39.
41 in front now, with 67 on.
44.
He's been able, it seems so far, to focus just on the table as Yize looks on. What a performance it's been this evening from him.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's really come of age in this match. We knew he was good. We've seen how good he is this week, but what we've seen tonight is on a different level, actually.
45.
And he'll come out of it with a lot of credit, even if he does lose, which is looking slightly more likely now. You know, if he doesn't go on and do big things in this game, then I'll be staggered.
Well, 47 with the blue. So he's a few balls away now. Just plotting the course here.
I mean, it's this uncertainty of sport. It was 7-1. No one really thought this was going to be much of an evening, really.
50.
But it's been fantastic.
$51.
Here we go then. This brown would get him 52 in front with 51 on.
Basically, it's another red, isn't it, that he really wants, even though, as you rightly say, it's down to a snooker with this brown going in.
Yeah, you're quite right, though. He wants the extra ball. But
55.
I think his son has actually left the arena. He was getting too much for him, maybe. But I'm sure we'll see him if Neil can pop this ball. This really feels like it is for victory. If only it were that straightforward.
Yeah, Robertson, 55.
Feels it rolled off, I think. So 1 snooker required.
One.
The black ball is not on his spot. I wonder if he even noticed that, because he probably played on it in such a way as that it was. This might not go in. Well, he's still in there, still fighting away. Could really do with getting it down to 1 red, or to be honest, he could have taken it all the way down to the colours and
8.
the green. It's 1 snooker if he can take high value colours, but then the red up the table with a black would be difficult. So he's just doing what he can. Interesting shot there from Neil, because Yize, you'd think, would just push this red down the table. And that kind of makes the table look a little bit more sort of friendly for getting a snooker than it was earlier. That's not worked out too badly. It's a bit of a difficult one, isn't it, for both players? I'm not quite sure how to go about this. I know Robertson, when that fluke went in this frame, he must have been, his eyes must have lit up there. Well, that's the one, isn't it? That is the one. It's not gone enough. And even if he had, I don't think it would be that. That's it. What a match.
Extraordinary. And Yize more than played his part, but it's Neil Robertson back in the big time. Full of praise for his determined opponent. But Neil Robertson ends a 2.5-year wait for a ranking title. He wins an absolute thriller here at the English Open, 9-7.